Evangelion is easily one of the most popular shows of 90s anime, so of course it spawned a whole bunch of knockoffs. Now I think the most well known knockoff is probably rahxephon, or however you pronounce that, but in my opinion there was another show that could rival Eva, and that was Argento Soma. So the story kind of starts the viewer off on the back foot as aliens have been landing on Earth for a few years now. They are all heading for one singular point, which the government names the Pilgrim Point. Why are they all heading there? Well, that's something you'll discover for yourself. Individual parts of an alien creature have been falling to Earth. A scientific group take the parts back to a facility called the morgue, where they go full Frankenstein and bring the alien creature back to life with disastrous results, which leads to a massive tragedy for our main character, Tacto, who will later adopt a new persona, Ryu Soma. After this, our giant mecha alien goes into hiding. Only when this young girl called Harriet gets herself into trouble, it goes into protect mode to save her. Why does it only react to her? She's the only one that can communicate with it too, but why? Again, more layers to the mystery. Soma has mental problems. He is constantly struggling fighting his past self and the new Soma that is hellbent on revenge. He almost has what you might call a split personality like Two-Face from Batman. That's why I couldn't tell if the mysterious Mr. X he meets in hospital was real or not, since he would seemingly appear and then disappear out of the blue quite often. This character would manipulate the then Tacto throughout the rest of the show. What is this guy's true agenda? Is he friend or foe? Soma joins the special anti-alien task force called Funeral. Yeah, for some reason the show has a lot of stuff relating to death for its names of locations and organisations. Anyway, I liked all the members of Funeral, plus they are the ones who get to pilot the giant mechas, which are called Sargs. They have two modes like Macross, Flight and Battle mode, where they transform into full body. The aliens are pretty easy to defeat at first, but by episode 5 we learn that aliens have different abilities, and this makes them much more dangerous to take down. Funeral end up needing the help of EX1, which was our Frankenstein monster from the first episode, which again only helps because it wants to protect the girl. The battles between the Sargs and giant aliens are really well done. There's a good mixture of long range and close quarter battles with different tactics. Albeit halfway through the show, Frank, aka EX1, just shows up and does his version of Shiny Finger to win the day. Really, episode 5 is where things really kick off, so if you're not feeling the show by then it might not be for you. But after that I was totally hooked and couldn't wait to watch the next episode. There becomes a point where you start to feel bad for EX1, as it's locked up and poked like some lab rat, only used when Funeral can't handle the situation and need help. Yeah, I felt sad for the big guy and his best friend Harriet, who is also exploited. This show clearly didn't have a big budget, but it still looks decent for an anime from the year 2000. One thing that did bug me about its art style is that the characters' noses would just not be there a lot of the times. It made certain characters look quite funny. I eventually got used to it, but you'll certainly notice it. The character and costume designs were all great, along with the mecha designs of the Sargs and various other giant aircrafts. The opening theme song is very catchy. Even after I finished watching the show, I found myself humming it, titled Silent Wind and sung so beautifully by Eri Sugai. The score of the show also captures the mood brilliantly. Argento Soma may have gone down in history as an Eva clone, but there's nothing wrong with having knockoffs if they're really good. In fact, I find it a disservice to the show to call it a mere knockoff. While it's clearly inspired by Eva, it does enough to stand on its own 2 feet. I mean, for example, would you hate on Gamera just because it's a rip-off of Godzilla? Which you could make the argument that the Gamera trilogy is actually one of the best set of kaiju movies ever made, even outdoing the Big G himself. That's how I feel about Argento Soma. I actually liked it more than Evangelion, which I know will be blasphemy to many, but we like what we like. The show is full of conspiracy, some heavy science theories and many mysteries about life in the universe, not to mention the personal struggle each member of Funeral faces. I very much enjoyed my time with Argento Soma, and if you only liked Eva even just a little bit, or you're looking for something different when it comes to mecha, then this is worth checking out. As always, thanks for watching and catch you next time.